Ooh, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. This is cooking for people who can't cook. If you cannot cook, but you want to make something delicious, maybe you got somebody to impress, maybe you got some family coming over, maybe you're just hungry and you're tired of microwavable meals or cereal. We're going to make something phenomenal. Now, we're going to do it one way, but you can add pretty much or take away anything that you don't like. So if there's certain vegetables you don't eat, who cares? Remove them. It doesn't really matter. We're making a shepherd's pie today, and we're doing it the easy way. And there is an easy way to do shepherd's pie, a very easy way that a lot of people just don't realize. Shepherd's pie, you need beef with a mix, you need some vegetables in there, and you need mashed potatoes. A lot of people have to peel potatoes and then cut potatoes and then boil potatoes and smash potatoes and do all this. That's a lot of work. Nope. Go get yourself some mashed potatoes that you stick in the microwave. That's all you need for potatoes. Beef, just get yourself some ground beef. That's easy. You have a bunch of seasoning in the house, use whatever seasoning you want. I use a shepherd's pie seasoning because it's all in there. Next, you're gonna need a can of cream corn. Easy. For me, my vegetables that I'm putting in it, a lot of people use like peas and carrots, and that's the cheap way to go. Use the French style green beans. Oh, those make really, really nice filler in there. I use little tiny mushroom pieces. I use dried onion, and I'm going to use some artichoke because it's got that oil and vinegar in it. It's got that flavor, that Italian flavor. So it just adds a little bit of flavor to the mix. Oh, and don't forget to get yourself some cheese. I'm using a triple cheddar, nice and creamy. So I have a pan already going. And what I'm going to do is take out my meat, and I just had my knife in my pocket. Ooh, a little off-grid overkill, but it works. So I'm just gonna cut open my meat. I could have just used my finger, but come on, I'm a knife guy. So I'm gonna take my meat, and I want to already have ready, which I don't have ready, a little tiny like one of these rubber spatulas, so I can crush my meat up a little bit. Boop. That's easy. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to take my little rubber spatula, and I'm going to lower you, and I'm going to bring you down so you can actually see what's happening. Boop. And I'm literally just going to do this a bunch of times to make it into a bunch of little pieces. So that's it. I can turn down the heat to medium, maybe a little bit less even. And just brown up this stuff. The only baking you're going to be doing is throwing it in to melt the cheese. That's it. The potatoes are going to be in the microwave. As a matter of fact, I could throw them in the microwave right now. I believe this stuff uses water too. Brown, what do you need? A little bit of water, I think it does. It does. So this seasoning uses water. Let me just get my stuff in the microwave. All right, so I got the mashed potatoes in the microwave for 2.5 minutes, and that's pretty easy. I just put the dry mix inside the seasoning inside here. Now it calls for using some water in this mix. Remember, if you just use regular spices, you don't need to worry about any of that. This mix I've never used before, so it's just something I'm throwing in there for some flavor. But it calls for water rather than adding water. There's already water in the green beans. I just won't fully take that all out. So I'm going to leave some of the water from the green beans in there and throw that in with it. Bada boom, bada bing. And mix that up and let the water from the green beans be the water that was required. And that's gonna be good. Then I'll strain the mushrooms and I'll add those in. And now is a good time, once I start browning this meat and start throwing in the vegetables, to add the onion. Very, very simple. This whole thing is so super easy. Now, you can't really microwave the beef, but you can literally, you're microwaving that, but you can microwave creamed corn. You could throw that in a microwavable dish if you don't want to, if you don't own a pot. Who knows? I don't know what your situation is, but either way you want to do it, it's very, very simple. So the potatoes, 2.5 minutes. I'll stir them up. I'll do them for another 2 minutes. I don't need to go the full time that's on the box because I'm still taking those potatoes and putting them in the oven. So that's that. Now I'm going to open up these mushrooms. I'm going to drain all the water out of the mushrooms though, because you don't want mushroom water in there because that'll be overpowering, right? Am I still recording? I hope so, I'm going. So empty out the water. This is so easy, guys. Throw in my mushrooms. Well, that was simple. Now I'm going to take some of my dried onion. I'm just going to throw that in there. Put whatever. And remember, this is cooking. You don't really need to measure. Just have fun. That's going to go in. The last thing I'm going to add to this is the artichoke hearts, because I don't really need to cook up the artichokes too much. So it's the last thing I'll add to this. Right, the cream corn is going to be a layer on top, so I don't worry. I'm not worried about that. I don't have to heat the cream corn or mix the cream corn in this. It's going to be just a layer. So the beef with the mushrooms and the French beans and onion and the seasoning, that's it. Is just heating up. That's all it's going to take. Once it starts browning really nice, that's done. Potatoes, take them out, open the film that's on the top, and mix. So I'm going to mix. So a little something I like to do with these microwavable potatoes is I'll add a little pepper, and I'll mush that into the mix, and then I'll throw just a little bit of butter on top when I heat it the second time, and just give it that really nice buttery feel. It's just, for me, it makes it better. That's up to you. You don't have to add butter. You don't have to add pepper. You can have your potatoes just the way they come. There's nothing wrong with that. I just like to give them a little bit more flavor and a little bit more buttery fluffiness. So that's what I do there. And I'll even show you the butter I use, because it's very specific. Even though I have two kinds of butter that I use, the one that I'm using on this. Hold on. All right, so two kinds of butter. I just tasted that beef stuff. That seasoning is amazing. But if you ever see this in your grocery stores, it's Amish roll butter. It's a big fat roll of butter. That's all it is. It's awesome. If you don't have that in your grocery stores, look for this extra creamy Cabot. Ooh, this is really good butter, but it's not the one I'm using. I'm using one that's just a little bit better butter, and that's it. So I'm going to put a little bit of butter on the potatoes, stick them back in there. All right, so the mashed potatoes just finished. All that's left for me to do is give them one final whip and then use them as the topper. I just preheated the toaster oven so at 400 so I can melt the butter. And I'm just heating the cream corn. That's the last part of the actual meal. You don't have to cook the cream corn, you just have to heat it. It's already pretty much as soft as you want it to be. Last thing also, while I'm heating my cream corn, I'm just going to take out some of my artichoke hearts. And remember, you don't have to use these. These are something I like. I'm just going to cut some of these up and throw them in with the beef for the final few seconds of those cooking, because they're pretty much done right now. So, oh yeah. So I just want to make sure that these are super good. Those are super good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my trusty knife, and I'm just going to cut a few of these up and add them straight to the beef mix, and they will be ready to go. I'm cutting them on the cardboard that the what do you call it came in, the I don't even know what this is called, potatoes. I don't know. Totally lost the word for potatoes, and I'm on the box that says potatoes. So that's it. I'm just going to take a couple of them. I don't need a lot because it's just an extra little thing that I throw in there. And I'll even show you. That's literally all I'm putting in. Boop. Add that in. And I don't want to like cook them because they don't need to be. So that's why I'm putting them in last. And I'm just going to mix it up. And all it's doing is it's adding that extra little flavor, giving it that Italian zest, and it just adds a little something to a meal like this when you're doing that. Just a little something, especially anything that you're putting mushrooms in. That's it. And in that time it took me to do that, the cream corn is done. So now it's literally just put it all together. Delicious. Hold on a second. You know, I had a can of olives sitting around and I only have that much left. So I'm just going to add those. Bada boom, bada bing. A little something extra. It's one of those why not type things. Was it planned on? No, but neither were most of your kids. So it's just the way it works. So I'm just going to add those in. Let those sit inside the beef. Golly, that beef is so good. All right, hold on. All right, so now it's literally put it all together. I got a little square pan. I'm gonna take my beef and I'm gonna put it on the bottom. My beef and vegetable mixture, I should say. So once that's in, just give it one of these guys, one of these little shakes, and it will spread itself out. I could even bat it down on a tabletop and it will flatten. That's perfect. After that, take my cream corn and just pour the cream corn. Bring you guys into the mess here. Just pour this over, trying to get it as even as possible. And then if you need to, you can spread it around or just do the shimmy, shimmy, shake. It will all be good. So there's my cream corn on top of my beef. And what I'm going to do is pop on the tabletop. And bam, it made it flat. Last thing to do is just take the potatoes and spread them over the top. Can't do that with one hand, so hold on a second. All right, so potatoes are on top. What I'm going to do now is just take some cheese. Put as much cheese as you want or as little cheese as you want. If you don't like cheese, don't use cheese. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. Use cheese. And then all I'm going to do is literally stick it in the toaster oven until the cheese is melted. Every single part of this meal is already cooked, right? Just got to melt the cheese. So literally, you're pretty much at this point done, right? Aside from some final heating. And then you will see what it looks like after that. I'm pretty excited because I never really did this recipe. I've made shepherd's pie before, but not like this. I just figured I'd do it in a way to show everybody and anybody, yeah, you can cook a good meal. So hold on. Ooh, I'm not lying to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. That looks nice. That looks nice. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of bowl. We're gonna see how it goes. Give it a little tasty yum yum. See how well I did here. And that's it. Oh, moment of truth. Cutting open the shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Remember, it scoops out like a big old mess, so be careful because you'll most likely spill some over the side, but that's okay. But that's okay because that's what we have neighbors for. We just pay their kids to come clean our stuff. I wish I had neighbors now. All right, so I gotta say, this smells great. It looks great. If this doesn't taste great, I'm gonna go beat some random people at the mall. All right, so let's see here. Shepherd's pie, shepherd's pie. It's all mixed together, real nice. Oh, got some potato. I see a little mushroom in there. Got a little olive on there. See how it is with the olives? I've never put an olive in there. Oh, nice cheesy melty. So, if you are not a cook in any way, shape, or form, not a cook, but you wish you could eat something semi-homemade and delicious, this is so easy. Oh my gosh, that's really good. Seasoning just kicked in there. Yeah, so this is super amazing. Now, if you do it exactly to this recipe, I guarantee you're gonna like it. This is amazing. If you change the recipe up, Can't guarantee anything, but there's a good chance you're probably still gonna like it because it's just the main thing is the beef, the potatoes, and the cream corn, right? And simple. Beef, you throw in a pan and you jab it until it breaks up into little parts. Mashed potatoes, you get the microwave kind, put them in a freaking microwave. Cream corn, you literally heat it. You can put that in the microwave. Take it out of the can first. Don't be stupid. But then put it into something else. Don't just put it in the microwave. But the flavor combination from the artichokes and just the seasoning and this is that is phenomenal. That's phenomenal. This could be one of the best shepherd pies I ever had. There was this one restaurant I went to. Oh man, that used to make it was gourmet shepherd's pie. It was amazing. This runs right with that. This runs right with that. This stuff is fan-freaking-tastic. Well, I'm gonna go eat my goodness. I'm gonna have to do a refill on this bowl. This is amazing. All right, so that's it for that one, guys. If you can't cook, now you can. I am Donnie B all day. Until next video.